What's going on? It's your man DJ Big Mike.
It's your boy Aro.
It's your boy TJ the Mayor.
And this is Beyond the Tracks podcast.
Your podcaster's favorite podcast. This is we've been in here for a minute now. This is part two of the Christmas special. We still got the party going down. We still got music. We got 8 Mile flowing in the background. Let's just get right into it. Shout out to 8 Mile Vodka, Mikey Shu, the Berkeley brothers. We've been in here for a minute. I'm sorry, y'all. The Berkeley brothers, the Tomey brothers, Born in Detroit, everybody over there, 8 Mile Vodka. Thank you so much, 8 Mile Vodka and Mikey Shu for sponsoring this Christmas special right here, bringing the bottles and having fun and the Christmas cheer. Rome got the eggnog going on over there. You know what I mean?
Got the slurries going on for the flurries.
I like what you was spitting.
Yeah, I got a hot half a bar.
Okay.
Hot half a bar.
All right, Rome, what you got over there for sponsorship, good brother?
I got my boy Cheat Designs, custom wearable arts and prints. That's www.cheat-designs.com for your custom wearable arts and prints.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Mike, what you got going on over there?
Man, as always, JC Quality Construction. Jason Cole, hit him up at 734-652-9715. He does everything from the 2x4 to the key to the front door. Mention Beyond the Tracks podcast and you will get 15%, maybe 20%. Bring him some beer, you might get 30%. I really don't know. Just mention us and he will hook you up.
I don't... Yeah, you're right. We don't know. We know 15% for sure. That's all we know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Also,
depends on how he's feeling that day.
It depends on if he's hung over that day.
Facts.
Did I say too much?
Maybe.
We love you, Jason. We also have We Handle Candles, Stelio Solano and Kayla over there at We Handle Candles. Also Spooky Films. So they handle the candles so you don't have to. Also Spooky Films, who is the creator of our intro. So shout out to him and everybody over there. And plus, we've been partying for a minute here, and it smells a little bit a Christmas tree-ish, if you know what I mean. And we had to spark some of them candles earlier. So shout out to We Handle Candles. We appreciate y'all. So yes. We're in part two. Part two. Let's just bring them in. Let's go. So yes. This is part two of the Beyond the Tracks podcast Christmas special. We have special guests. We have a guest that both guests have been reoccurring on this podcast. One of the guests is actually sponsoring this. The other guest, I'm so glad he's here for this Christmas special because he always brings me on for the New Year's Eve special that they do over at his podcast. So without further ado, we got Tyner The Pirate Chef from Shit Gets Deep podcast, and we got Mikey Shu, 8 Mile Vodka. Let me get some horns up in this bitch.
What up?
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, that's Tyner come with that Christmas cheer.
Bring it. Christmas cheer.
I love it.
With this Pine Knob Music Theater Christmas shirt on.
That's right.
Like, how
matching that Bud Heavy.
It's the most red and white shirt looking Santa kind of stuff I got. So
matching that Bud Heavy can though, Tyner. Put
Cheers.
that up.
Cheers.
That.
This side of the room right here is the most Monroe side of the room. I'm gonna tell you why. Because we're right in between. We're right in between Toledo and Detroit.
Yep.
And he's got on a Mud Hens hat.
Yeah.
That's right.
With some Pine Knob shirts
Yes.
on. D hats going on.
Yeah,
Obviously, Mikey Shu with 8 Mile Vodka.
Yep.
Where's 8 Mile?
Yeah.
The
In
D.
Detroit.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
He's got
Yeah.
And the blue cup.
I'm D'd up.
You
Got the blue cup.
I had to do that for you.
BTT shirt.
You killed me.
I appreciate
so
you finally.
much
This is the first time
with
I got
the
to sip
red
out of
cups.
one.
I'm like,
Yeah, no.
First time.
Gotta be blue.
I appreciate you
And
guys.
literally checked
Gotta
me
get
about
blue.
it.
It's gotta match that bottle.
He's like, hey.
And hold on.
No more red cups
Let
up
me
here.
take off my blue blockers. Y'all remember blue blockers?
Dude, they still sell blue
Them
blockers.
8 Mile Vodka.
Oh, yeah.
Born Detroit joints right there. Listen,
God,
I rock these. Mikey, how long I've been rocking these bad boys?
got the
I've been
brand-
asking you
the
for extra
branded
ones just in
shades.
case I lose
Got
these
'em, man.
joints.
Where they do that at?
For sure.
They do it at 8 Mile Vodka and Born Detroit. That's
I mean,
what they do that at.
I understand your guys' friendship because I'm still waiting on a hat.
Oh, do you guys want to start on that? Because when we walked in the studio today, everybody in here has on
A BTT hoodie.
stuff except for
You.
me, Rome, your co-host.
Not true.
You guys will see, or you guys seen it in part one. You know what I mean? Downtown Dev had his on.
Hey, the only reason I didn't wear my
Is that
BTT
velvet?
shirt was because this one's red and white and that one's black and white.
Yeah, Mike didn't give a shit.
I wanted to feel. I wanted to feel that.
I knew Mikey Shu was coming on. I had to black it out.
Hey,
I'm like,
all right.
I'm trying to be like him. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
Big Mike came in here still on Halloween. Like when he first, it was just me in here. He came in here second to the studio, and he was spitting Halloween bars.
He
and I'm
pulled
like,
his Michael Myers mask off as he walked in.
Yeah, I'm like, this is Christmas, bro. We got the elf on top of the tree back there. I don't even know if you guys can. Let me pan this up real quick.
yeah.
We got elf on top of the tree. There we go. We'll keep the camera right there, man. We got the elf on the shelf or elf on the tree.
Yeah.
I'm so bummed I didn't do that.
The
God,
elf on
I'm
the
so
shelf?
bummed.
The
yeah.
elf on the shelf.
So okay, let's get into Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
So you have a son.
Yep.
Does he know about Elf on the Shelf yet? Or
No, that's why I'm disappointed in myself that he doesn't. Like this.
Don't be
fun year
Mikey.
for
You
it.
win. You win, bro.
It's so fun though. I want to do like the ones where he's like chopping up some cocaine with a bunch of Barbies and stuff.
it's
like,
not-
I want to do that stuff.
Trust me. Listen.
You
It's,
can't
it'd be
say
fun.
that.
hey, it sounds fun for a second. You're right. That would be great, right? But give it a week or two, and then realize you have years of this left. And then you get caught slipping because you fucking forgot to move them, and your kids are like, they're dead. Oh no, like right? Or why didn't they
Overdose.
move?
That's
why didn't they
overdose.
move? What happened?
Damn,
right,
I gotta hide this,
bro?
episode from
The last year of
I don't know
this.
if he watches, but
Listen, my kids are on the number one, my oldest is past this, but my youngest is on the upper edge. She might just be playing along to just be nice to us at this point. But last year, my oldest has the elf, right? That elf. The elf everybody knows. The ones that everybody knows what he looks like, right? My youngest has this elf that is this like claw game fucking you're never going to find another one of these again type of elves where I've never seen one
Wait,
ever.
what do you mean?
Like she was gifted it by somebody, so that became her
So it's
elf.
real beat up.
And it don't look like the elf on the
It's like a
shelf.
voodoo elf?
It's like a generic version. It's
They
the
got it
black
from
and
New
white
Orleans?
Acme label version of the elf on the shelf, right?
It's the Animaniacs elf?
It's not. It's just a random. Somebody sold this in their back room elf.
it's elf on the drawer.
I'm telling you,
Not
it's-
elf on the
You gotta
shelf.
send us
on
a
the
picture.
floor.
I need to
One
see a
leg
picture.
faces-
I gotta see a picture.
one
too.
leg
Has to be.
faces the wrong way, right? Well, you want to see the old picture first, because last year, somehow I woke up to go downstairs and get some water in the middle of the night, and I find this elf's name Snowflake. By the way, I find Snowflake in 4,000 pieces and stuffing everywhere.
Pork chop got him?
Pork chop got him.
Oh, man.
I think it might have
Rough way
fallen
to
down,
go.
and he saw like the movement and went over and just disemboweled this thing, right? So now I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place because obviously this elf ain't gonna show up in the morning.
Right.
This elf is
There ain't no bringing him
no
back.
more, right? However, this isn't like I can go on Amazon and order this elf. This is a one of a kind claw
one of
game
one.
elf.
Right.
So
What do they call
somebody
it, one
got
off?
out of the, and I'm like, what do I do? So
I'ma tell you.
I think quick. What would
got?
you? What would you do?
What I would do is I would go buy
WWMD.
another elf, and I would say Snowflake got promoted.
All right.
up a
That's a
little bit.
good
I
spin.
like
That's a
this.
good
Ooh.
spin.
Because now you hitting with the hey, you do good work, you get promoted.
All right. I like this.
You know what I'm saying?
So I went along the lines of this.
He's dead.
Nope. Hey, luckily my
It's
oldest.
Tyner, I
hey,
ain't
know. Coming
luckily
back.
my oldest saved the day because he came and he was like, "Yo," because my thing was I gotta tell her what's up, what happened. You know, like I said, she's on
Can't tell
the.
her pork chop ate him.
Well, I thought maybe she's at the upper edge of the age where maybe she already knows and is whatever. So I was just gonna break it to her, and he's like, "You cannot." She's
Is
still in.
this Harry?
Yep. He's like, you
love
can't.
Harry.
She's still in, bro. He's like, you can't do that to her. It's 2 weeks before Christmas. You're going to ruin this kid's life. And I'm like, thank you for saving me. Thank you. Because that could have been traumatic. This might have been my daughter. You know, your only job is to keep him off of the pole. This might have been that moment.
Oh,
Fucked
shit.
up,
You're right.
So I might have gone wrong here, but he saved me. So what did I do? I wrote a handwritten note from Santa because who has Santa's handwriting? This guy right here who writes the note back every
smart.
year, thanks for the cookies.
Right.
I write a note. I say, hey, Snowflake had an accident, right? Snowflake got caught running across the floor. One of your boys, not going to name who it was. I don't want to blame one or the other, but we know who it was.
Pork chop.
That's an
Yeah. Pork
intense-
chop always gets blamed.
That's
Right?
an intense.
So one of your boys
letter.
got a hold of him, and now Pork Chop needed to go back to the North Pole to rest up and mend in the elf hospital, right? And thank God, because she starts asking questions, bro. She was like, yo, where's my fucking elf? He hasn't showed up in a couple days, right? So finally, this note shows up. I mailed it. I had it stamped.
That golfers clap for that, bro.
Extra mile.
That is a true
Technically, I
dad
didn't
moment.
mail it.
Extra
I needed
mile.
it faster.
Yes.
I needed it faster than the mail could come to me, so I took it to the post office and had them stamp it and took it with me. I paid for it and shit, but she give it the stamp.
That's the extra fucking mile.
And
man.
so
Wow. You committed.
I made it.
No,
I made
he's
it
in it.
He's
legit.
committed,
You
yeah.
got to make it legit.
you
right?
got to.
So
Man.
this showed up.
You are
She
the
buys
man.
it.
You are now the man in my heart, brother.
Hey, man.
like that's brilliant.
That's
You got to let
top-notch.
kids be kids. You know what I'm saying? What they're only that way for a little while. You got to let them be
Yeah.
kids. And I couldn't fuck that up, especially after my older one was like, no, don't do that. So, hey, number one, thank you to my oldest, because goddamn, you fucking
he put you on.
yes.
Save the
And
day.
then number
Save
two,
Christmas.
thanks to everybody else involved, because I had a lady who literally sewed this thing back together that I work with. She's a seamstress, and she managed to piece this
No
thing back
shit.
together. And Snowflake showed up this year with fucking Frankenstein scars all over
what's
this
up.
thing after she got
Bro, I'm
mended
such a
at the
shitty
hospital.
father and grandfather.
Man,
Because
no,
I just had an
you're
epiphany.
not.
I
No, you're
dropped
not.
the
No,
ball.
you're
I just-
not.
no, I just had
You're
an
not,
epiphany.
bro.
I just had an
Your
epiphany.
idea
not.
was, hey, I'll be honest with you. Once you told me your idea,
Man.
I was a little jealous that I didn't just buy a new one and say that the other one got promoted, because
But-
then I could have the real elf that looked like the other one in case something like this happened
you Toy
again.
Story that shit. You sent it out. You had it fixed.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm with
Man.
Mikey Shu. I don't even introduce.
Snowflake
We didn't
don't-
introduce none of that.
I didn't want to introduce
None of
it
that.
at all.
Snowflake
I
doesn't got
want
ears
to.
anymore, by the
April
way.
talked me into it.
Them kids be like,
But
man,
it's
where's
okay
my
because it's
PS5?
telepathic.
Damn that elf.
Like,
Hey, when we all-
like lying to him. I don't want to lie to him ever.
Well,
elf. Them kids looked at me like, they look at me like
Trust
I'm
me,
crazy.
Mikey.
I'm on both sides of it, right? I
Yeah,
do
but your
feel like
kids
they
is
need that
38
innocence
and
and that.
49.
and I
When they
need,
was
like,
little.
I'm teaching
They
them
been
not
like,
to lie to me,
bro.
and that first thing I'm doing is lying to them and
I'm
making
with
up
you.
shit.
I know it's a tough. It's a catch-22
So
of being a
since you bring
parent.
this up, how old were you guys when you found out there's no Santa?
5th grade.
Ooh, you know. See, he's traumatized. He know. That's why. You know what?
Bro,
Tyner?
I'll remember like it happened
That's
last night
why.
to me.
That's why you went to the extent that the extent of thing that you did with the elf,
Maybe.
because you have that traumatic.
That might be.
5th grade. He knew exactly. Boom, right off the bat, 5th grade.
Well, I know why though, because I found the presents the night before when they were in the staging area.
Look, hey, hold on. Rome over there, like, there's no Santa.
What the fuck are you guys talking
What
about?
is buying these gifts then? I don't know. I don't know. Mikey, you brought it up. When did you find out?
It was probably around 5th grade,
Okay.
but like I kind of knew. But
Fifth
when
grade,
my
I had a
parents,
pager, man. Stop it.
my parents,
Stop it.
Rome's been
Y'all
a
fifth
dick.
grade. Fifth grade, you, what's that, 10, 11? Come on.
I don't even know.
Yeah, fifth grade's my 10.
It had to have been around there.
No,
Come
no.
on.
Yeah,
Fifth grade,
yeah.
yeah. That's my 10, 11.
9 or 10, I'd give it. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fucking hilarious.
I know I was somewhere around there. I was somewhere.
Fucking pager.
I
That's
did.
hilarious.
Bro, when my
Rome was on
parents
the
told me, they were
block.
heartbroken.
Like woo woo woo.
Yeah.
But how they break it to you though? Like, how does that happen?
So like we went to them like, listen, we know what's up. Like, just
Gig
tell
is
us.
up.
You put the
Right?
heat
Wait,
on.
wait, who's
No.
we? Like, wait, you
Me
and
and
your
my
sister?
sister, yeah.
You guys actually like got
Yeah,
together and
put
said,
the
"Hey, we gotta
heat
have this
on 'em, right?
conference.
Dude, you
we
lit
gotta
the
have this
grill
meeting."
and stuck them on it.
Hey, and then whenever they were like, all right, the heat's here.
All right.
Boom, I was like crushed. Fucking
They
balling.
cracked under pressure.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
Well, I'm like, I already know. Just tell me. And
Right.
then whenever like they gave the nod, like I was
All
like
right.
fucking crushed.
And then you were like, wait,
Crying.
wait, wait, wait,
My
wait.
mom almost called off work.
You were like, hold on, Easter Bunny 2?
Yeah, no, I knew. I mean, it was all at that point.
Yeah,
All
okay.
of them.
So at that point, do you just automatically go,
All of
none
it.
of it's real,
That's why I
Yeah.
stopped believing in anything I can't meet or see. That's just me.
Mike,
except for $1 million?
You want to know some real interesting
I've seen
shit?
You've seen $1
It's
million.
not mine, but I've seen.
But $1 billion. We'll say $1 billion.
Billion, we'll
I
say
forgot
that.
we're talking to Mikey Shu here.
Right,
$1
right,
billion.
It wasn't
Right.
mine.
Yeah,
It
You
wasn't
know,
even
if
supposed to be
it's $1
mine.
billion, you know, you still believe in it, even though you can't see it. Other than money, though, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mikey,
Wasn't mine.
If it ain't in
Mikey,
front
you
of
want to
me.
hear some real interesting shit? I always consider Santa Claus. That's the training wheels. That's my first conspiracy theory. Ooh,
shit
Santa
gets
Claus.
deep
That
at
you
an
made me
early
right
age.
I'm
Don't
right
go
on
there
this,
yet.
so
Don't
man,
go there
you
yet.
fuel my fire.
Shit gets
Yeah,
deep
yeah.
at an
Yeah,
early
don't go there yet,
age.
though.
That's the
Fueling my
first one.
fire, dog. I already had a few drinks.
That's what it is, though.
But wait, but
Rome
wait.
said, hold on, we're only 10 minutes in right now to the
Because-
second part of the show.
Right, we tell them how we found out this wasn't real.
But
we
that's
finna
what
go
it
down
is,
a whole
though.
nother.
But that's what Santa Claus.
We're going down that rabbit
Yeah,
hole quick.
pulling back a whole nother layer, as Rome said.
No.
By the way, before we get out of here,
government
quick
behind
side note.
Yes.
Before we get out of here, we have to get 2 drops in. If we can remember, because we have been having a Christmas party. But if we remember,
Right.
we need 2 drops. We need 1 drop from Tyner, which I can actually go back in old podcasts and have Tyner do the "You can't say that" when Rome, his favorite Rome moment on the podcast.
And I need Tyner.
But we need him to actually do
yes.
another recording of it.
Yes, I need him to do my read for Totally Focused Entertainment. I need
Yeah,
that.
we need you to do a read. But we also need you to do. We need you to come up with a peel a layer back
All right.
type sound
no, I got you.
bite thing.
I got you.
Because we're
It's
always
here.
peeling a layer back.
Yeah.
And we always are saying you can't say that. Like now every time I say something off the chain or he says something off the chain, that's what we say. You can't say that because you brought
The last time I was here, we all stood out on the balcony beforehand, having a little powwow, talking about what we're gonna do in the summer months when it was nice and warm outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I told that story about when I was driving down the road, and I told Rome, I was like, Rome, you may if I was a little kid and I was drinking my milk, I'd have spit it out of my nose. That's how hard I started laughing.
Wow.
And that was what I say that a lot. It's funny that you said you think of it as a drop because I still say it as a drop. Like somebody will be, I'll be like, you can't say that. I don't even care if they don't know where it came from.
They might not even know what it means,
Right.
but you know what's
Yes.
going on.
I think of it a lot.
Real quick,
think-
since we're talking about Rome being funny, so
Yes.
leaving your podcast when we can't talk about the story,
We won't say the story.
Rome
but
dropped
yes.
one on us on the way home that I
God,
still
that was the
fucking
best.
die
That was a
laughing
good
on my
story.
own. I think about it.
That was. I was gonna say, what are you talking about?
my
Yeah, that was a good story.
Let's-
That was a
hey,
good.
let's
That
just
was a
say
great
this.
story, actually.
Let's just say
Hey,
this,
I love
Tyler.
and it's facts.
This is after
Still
leaving
gets
Shit
me.
Gets Deep podcast. Let's just say
We
this.
already had a ball
Don't get me
there,
in
and then we go do
We
that.
did, and we had a great time there. And when he told us this story, it was
Facts.
now that you told this Elf on the Shelf and how like the extent that you
go
went
to, yeah.
right.
The lengths that you're
He
willing to walk.
did the same exact thing in a different type of
One
scenario.
little
Yep.
And it, to me, Mikey,
Hey,
because
that's
we can't say it, but just look at me, just tell me that's not on the same wavelength. That's
Exact
like
same.
that goes. That's neck and neck
Exact- yeah.
for
See?
what's the best.
You're
yes.
fully
me and
committed.
Rome feel each
Thank
other.
you.
Committed.
And it took courage. It took courage. It took
courage,
guts.
No, it took
commitment.
everything.
You
Yeah,
didn't
it
know
took
how it was
guts.
going to pan
Exactly.
out. Tyner, you didn't know how it was going to pan out.
I was
You know?
hoping and praying.
And Harry came to have your aid too. Man, shout out to Harry, man. I got to say this, man. Can I shout out your son, man? Shout out Harry,
absolutely.
man. I love Harry. I just love Harry's energy.
Did you bring him
man.
in IWR? That one or no?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
He's
Yep.
yeah.
You met Harry, yeah.
That's the guy.
Couple times
Yeah.
with me.
Yep.
Yeah, man. He's awesome, man.
We joke around. Him and I walked out of IWR. I think it was the first time we went, and I was like, "Can we both acknowledge that I had way more fun than you did?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, well, "I go, listen, man. I walked in there and I was 10 years old again."
Yep.
And I'm like,
what it
I
does.
go, buddy, you got to understand. They're putting on a performance. They want reaction from the crowd. So me booing some dude,
They love
that's
it.
what he wants. He
Yeah.
wants to be booed. He's in
Yes.
there to be booed.
Right.
Yeah.
And when somebody and then you're screaming for somebody else or you're
They
you're
get offended
taunting
if you're
them.
quiet.
Yeah.
When you're quiet, that's
they're like, why
disrespect.
aren't you?
That's-
And I had to tell him. So then the second time we went, it made so much more sense to him. I think he enjoyed his second trip way more because
He was
like,
throwing chairs in the ring.
Yeah.
He was ready to
Cussing him out.
fight.
He's like, I'll
Ready
get
to
that
fight.
top rope. Yeah.
So
But
let me
no,
tell
he's a
you
little more
my-
shy than that most of the time. But
How I
yeah.
found out. I'm sorry. How I
you're
found
good.
out Santa wasn't real. Story.
Okay.
Kick it.
So the family's in the dining room having dinner. I come in, and I'll forget. I mean, I'll never forget it like it was yesterday. I had on a all black outfit, black turtleneck,
That's you.
gold chain.
Right.
I had my Rottweiler.
Wait, time out.
with me.
Can I time out? Wait, hold on. Wait, he's Wait a minute.
Fourth grade,
These
third
two
grade.
dudes just said that they were like 4th, 5th grade, right? That's what they found out. This dude, let's not just say his last name.
Rome lays out a Tupac
Had a turtleneck, a gold chain on, and a
Rottweiler.
death row infamous picture,
And a Rottweiler.
Rottweiler.
And you know he had a pager on.
You
him.
had a hold on. The fact that you still
He's gonna
believe
be
in
like, and I was
Santa,
3.
but you had a Rottweiler.
I see it on one a big thick chain.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have a leash.
Thank you.
He's got a chain.
Yep, and I took it off. As soon as we walked in, I
Thank
took
you.
it off.
How do I know that?
Okay, Rome,
And
go
I
ahead.
started
I'm
using the
sorry,
rope.
I cut you off, bro, but go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear this. I am 100% in right now.
Hey, bro, you know when he found out Santa ain't real, he pulled out a piece.
Like something better. No, I want to hear it now. All right, hold on.
So you know where we going.
Everybody calm down. You got to finish this.
I'm just teasing, bro.
Just
I'm
be
just
quiet.
talking.
I'm not going to
Keep
say
going
nothing.
because I want to. Now I'm like,
please.
hey, inquired minds.
So I want to recap. You came in, black turtleneck, gold chain, Rottweiler. Go. Boom.
So I let Rocky off his leash.
Of course, his name Rocky.
Rocky. Okay.
See, Killer the dog was born to a three-legged bitch of a mother. This is getting better. Oh my god.
Okay, Rome. Okay, sorry. All right,
He
sorry.
is literally 3 sentences into a story, and we can't breathe.
Okay,
All right. It's on you, Rome.
Okay.
Go.
Sorry, Rome. Sorry.
You know, I started walking around the table. And I'm looking at everybody.
Dude, he brought muscle.
I said, oh, don't nobody know nothing. Nobody knows nothing, huh?
Shout out to the family.
Mama.
Interrogation.
Set it up. Hold on. Set it up.
I said, Mama, you don't know
walking
nothing,
around the table. You're walking around the table right now with the Rottweiler.
I took him off his chain. I'm using the chain as a jump rope now. Don't nobody know nothing, huh? That's funny. Mama, Daddy? No?
Nobody wants to say
Don't nobody
anything.
got nothing to say, huh? That's exactly what I got. Nothing. I'm just teasing. I'm just that's New Jack City. Nino Brown. I'm surprised I didn't catch that.
I know where you were going. Once you got there.
From jump. That
But
kept on
in my
egging me
mind, I
on.
was like,
He like he being serious. He like he being serious.
I was gonna say.
I'm just teasing,
I was gonna
man.
say. Who you stab in the hand? That's what I was gonna say.
The picture, hey, listen to me.
My little
my brother's
my little brother
keep up.
Justin.
Yes, sir.
The picture being painted in my mind of this Santa reveal going down like that was so much more glorious.
I know. It was way better than New Jack City.
What was your
Fuck
favorite
New
part
Jack
of the
City.
outfit, though?
Do you know what's funny is I was
Love the
picturing because he
turtleneck.
said
It's a black turtleneck.
As I was picturing that picture of the Rock with the fanny
Yeah.
pack on,
Because he had the gold chain too.
I can see
Oh
young
my
Rome.
goodness, yeah.
You know what I mean? With gold chain, fanny pack,
Yeah.
Rottweiler on a chain.
Oh my God. Devin Rucker's still in the studio, by the way. And I gotta pitch this
teasing.
to Downtown Dev for his production company for a movie.
Yeah.
There's 2 movies coming out next year, y'all. It's
gonna be the short
It's the
of that.
elf. It's the story about Tyner's elf.
Elf on the shelf.
Elf
Yeah.
on the Shelf, and when Pork Chop got a hold of him. I don't know what we're gonna call it yet. Elf on the Pork Chop, something. We're gonna do something.
Yeah.
And then we got Rome's
Yeah,
Rome's Santa adventure. Even if you can call it an adventure at that point, I call it an interrogation. I don't know what's happening right
Gotta
now.
be the
We
interrogation.
definitely,
Oh,
we
man.
definitely have to redo this film. I love
Oh
it.
my gosh, I love it.
Let me ask you, because Rome's crazy. These dudes.
I don't know. I can't really actually remember when I didn't
either.
believe in Santa because I don't think it was very early on. You know, I probably 4 or 5.
Because you was always a little spoiled ass baby of the family.
Here we go. I'm the youngest.
You were probably what,
go.
18?
Here we go.
Shots
with
fired.
it.
realize
I'm
that
the
shit?
youngest, so of course, you know.
Yeah.
I was,
Still believes he's got gifts coming
I was about
this
to
year.
say,
He's been
like,
on a good list.
I found out before when we were setting up today. Like,
I believe it.
no, I honestly, I don't remember exactly the moment, but I do know when I was questioning things, right? Because so we grew up in townhouses. They're kind of back then they were kind of considered apartment
You did.
projects ish. Yeah, you did. I did.
You did.
By the time I was right, so
I grew up in
it was.
He was like, we ain't got no
Greenwood
chimney.
was the hood. You grew up in you actually grew up in a house.
Definitely
I did.
wasn't an
That's right.
apartment though. That doesn't qualify as an apartment.
What?
Greenwood?
I mean,
Greenwood?
you could say that. Like
What
you
are-
said,
what is Greenwood?
It is more. I would call it townhouses.
It's townhouses,
It's-
but back
yeah.
then though
It's-
it was
it's low-
We were on. It was low income. townhouses.
Condos.
Did y'all
Right.
have
That being said,
a
though,
chimney?
No, we didn't
Apartments,
have no. We
y'all
didn't have a
don't get your
chimney.
own
We
entrances
have-
to apartments.
So yeah, that's what I'm
You know
saying.
what
Is
I mean?
like the difference is like he's the oldest, I'm the youngest. You know what I mean? And he actually, when he found out, he was probably living on Conant in the house. I'd imagine.
Bro, I am
Did y'all have a
Brother
chimney?
Black Son.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't. Okay.
So-
So anyway, But
You're aware.
so
Early
my,
on,
my
huh?
thing
9
was,
months.
I was questioning like I kept asking Grandma Betty like, hey, how's Santa gonna get to my house? Because like we don't have a chimney, we don't have a fireplace. Like how is he gonna know my apartment or whatever you guys want to call it? How's he gonna know to drop in there? Because there's like it's a whole complex, and then he has to go from one to one. But I don't know where to. So I
You were
do
doing
remember this.
complex equations.
I was
trying to figure out where
What
Santa
I did
was
was I
coming
remember
from.
I remember. Tell me you remember this because you lived there for a little bit too. When we were in the third court. This is when we were in the third court now. 'Cause we lived in the first and the third.
Yep.
So when we was in the third court, one of the closets has a thing like a little door to go up in the attic. Right? Do you remember all that?
Yep.
I tried to
fell for that?
get in. I tried to say, well, there's got to be something up here. And I remember trying to stack shit up to get up there, and I couldn't get up there. I was so fucking mad.
Yeah.
No bullshit. I tried to get up there because I'm like, I got to figure out
the
how they get in.
Explorer.
TJ the Explorer.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out how does Santa get in, and I couldn't get up there, and it was pissing me off. I don't know when I found out, but I do remember that was the first questions I asked Grandma Betty, because she used to watch me every morning when Mom went to work, and I'm like, but Grandma Betty, can I just get my presents here? Because Santa might know to come here because you guys have a house, there's a chimney, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
we don't have nothing at home.
He's got to weigh in.
How do we do this?
I've seen this in movies a
Send me
million
a
times.
40 in that dress.
I will tell you this though.
Comes down the chimney.
I will tell you this though. I do remember. I want to. Maybe I want to think this for a second because that's just how my memory works. Is that I actually probably figured out about the Tooth Fairy first. Because I do remember figuring out the Tooth Fairy shit.
Right.
Because I'm still to this day I can't sleep. I'm not a deep sleeper. I'm not a heavy sleeper.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom it was just way too fucking obvious.
So I will cop to this. That story was real. I mean, number one, it did happen last year, but it was real fresh in my mind because last weekend I had a good buddy of mine, technically family at this point, but tell me that his daughter come home from school and she's in 7th grade, so that makes her what, maybe 11, 12, something like that.
Unless you're
About
wrong.
12.
Yeah, we don't know
15.
grades.
Yeah,
today.
About
We have
12.
no idea.
I think 7th grade, I was 12. I think I was 11, 12.
But she came home from school and she was like, Dad, why would you do this to me? And he was like, what? And she's like, I'm sitting at the lunch table today. And they broke it down and she's like, I'm fucking mortified because I'm the only one that didn't know this shit.
But did she hold her on? Or did she hold her own though?
Well,
During?
no, I think she just kind of sat there and observed.
Yeah.
I don't think she got stuck in it.
So she didn't have.
That being said, she come home immediately what the fuck, man? You got to prepare me for this. And he's like, all right. So then she goes, so does this mean Easter Bunny too? And he's like, she didn't say that. He goes, yeah, the Easter Bunny too. And she's like, the Easter Bunny? She goes, what about the elf though? He goes, are you fucking stupid? He's like, we just crossed off 2. If you're gonna ask me about the third one, come on now. That made me laugh so hard, dude, because she was just like, yeah, you're right.
But it's.
I love that shit.
But you know what? To peel it back.
Yeah.
You almost, and I'm thinking this, and my girls they have a long time before they get to this point. But I'm almost
that
I
long.
might be proud of.
They know now.
It's gonna be tomorrow.
probably.
I know, Mike. They know this all the time. It'll be tomorrow. But I'm just wondering, do you almost, and in some sense, go? I'm measuring my girls up on a certain scale. If they find out when they're 15, then my girls might not be ready for the world.
Hey.
If they find out by 10 or 11, well, okay. They're catchy.
See,
they're
that's a
catching
bad
on.
position,
That's
though,
where they're
that we have.
transitioning into.
I don't like the shit.
So there's a sweet
Right,
spot.
but
So you
that's what I'm
lie to
saying.
them, but then you also gotta break it to them before they get embarrassed by their friends.
Uncle Ron gonna have their ass woke.
Right.
Why would we do it?
3 years old, 3 and a half.
No, but I
Uncle
don't.
Ron gonna have woke.
Hold on.
I feel like I'm doing my man wrong.
Daddy, Uncle Ron ain't no Santa
I
Claus.
feel you on that though, Mikey. But here's the thing. I think it's.
Keep it 100.
I know, but it's I
Oh
get
my
you.
God.
I see Mikey's point totally.
it-
I
I
love
totally
the
see your
innocence
point.
of it. I do love that. So
I totally
no
see your
report,
point.
not
Exactly
a grant.
my
But what I'm
point right
saying
there.
is just
I'll
the
tell y'all
measurement.
something. When y'all done, I'll tell y'all something
But
crazy.
what I'm saying
crazy,
is
crazy.
the measurement though of where your kids are at. That's
kid's
one of
different.
the what do they call it? Telltale signs
Yeah.
of where your kid's at. If it's 10 or 11, you know that they're ready for the next step in life now.
Sure.
Right? But let's just say your kids believe in
Age
it
don't
until
make
they're
that. Yeah.
well, let's just say 15 years old, they still believe in Santa Claus. You might have a problem with them. They're only 3 years away from being in the real world.
You did that to them. That's where I'm at.
No, I get what you're saying.
This is the way, Mikey.
We are. But what I'm saying is, but it also goes back to your.
Sounds like Mikey says, "Fuck Santa."
I'll put it like this, Mikey. I know exactly what Mikey's saying.
Right.
I didn't like Christmas once I grew up. Right. Once I got to be like 20, 21. And I'm like an older dude.
Yeah,
I didn't like.
It's for the kids.
It is for the kids, but it's not that. It's like I wasn't one of those. I was one of those people who saw it as being gross because you see where it turns into like this commercial thing where you're like. But when I had children, for example, all of a sudden I could see it through the eyes of a child again.
Right. That's what it's for.
And that is what it's for.
Right. I'm going through it right now. I literally decorated the Christmas tree in the studio. I was ready for it.
Right.
Tyner, I get that. I do.
But here's the deal. You're right. And there, I don't know if it's Rogan or Rogan or Bert have a joke where they're like, if your kid is the first kid to find out that Santa Claus ain't real, that kid's an asshole because he goes to school and fucks up everybody's shit. He goes, but you also don't want to have the kid who's the last kid that finds out Santa was real because that kid's an idiot.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
so what I really,
there's a sweet spot.
Like that's the measurement, and you can see where your kids are at. I'm not saying,
but this is what I hate. Like the main thing about it, and I'm not shitting on Christmas. Right. But like, so Santa goes to all these.
I don't know,
kids,
man. It kind of sounds like you're shitting on Christmas.
It totally sounds like you're shitting on Christmas.
Well, why do some kids go back to school after Christmas break? They're like, I got some clothes, I got some socks, I got one game. And the next kid, I got a PlayStation 5.
Right.
Like, so I was that bad. You know what I mean? Like, that's the shit that people don't talk about.
That's that layer peeling back right there.
So the parents.
And we thought Tyler was going to do some conspiracy.
I'm going to shed some light on that.
So that's like the thing. Like,
I'm going to shed some light on that.
So was I a bad kid? Because, and I'm not saying it was me. My parents always took care of us. But, you know what I mean? Say my man got some socks and some clothes and stuff to get him through the year. And I'm getting games and the new fucking WWF game. You know what I mean? Like,
but also at the same time, though,
I don't like that either.
When you're that age, are you at the age yet that you actually know the difference between being broke and
well, how would you know?
Rich,
like,
right?
If your buddy's getting the newest game system.
Some situations you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, when you're young enough, you don't know the difference between being broke and being rich.
Sure.
I think you pick up on it quick.
You pick up, times like that is what actually, you're right. That times like that is when you start measuring even towards your friends, what's your status.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Second grade, shit like that.
I asked for a wrestling ring every year real quick, and apparently I never got it because that's when I believed in saying, I'm like, we live in a trailer park. I'm like, we'll just put it in the bag. It's fine.
You know what? We'll talk to Gary. We're gonna get you.
A wrestling ring,
man.
I just want to get into one. I don't need to own it anymore. I'd
Next
love to.
IWR.
We can do that.
I feel like you need one.
Make that happen.
I'm sorry.
I would love it. I feel like if they made some you know how they make that type of glass that can break real easy. If you made that, but make it like the 8 Mile bottle, and like you come into
Rob
IWR,
Rob Miller can make that.
and boom, and then all of a sudden that's part of the fucking show. Is right. Am I just tripping, or am I just being drunk and high right now?
I agree with you 1,000,000%.
6 sponsorships I did, but I haven't got it yet.
Yeah. All right.
I got to contact Rob Miller and get one done, though.
Let's go.
All right, Big Mike, I want to circle back to you because I'm actually waiting on bated breath. Because he was like, I want to get into this.
So
I was waiting on this.
So it's a couple layers, right?
So we got multiple
my
layers.
grandson Dylan, who's the youngest, he just turned 9
from Adamsville.
Now, he doesn't believe in Santa Claus per se. Santa Claus bringing him gifts. What he believes in is Santa Claus allocating funds to purchase things for him.
Next level.
Santa Claus is
Santa's got Venmo.
Yes, that's why.
That's some Godfather shit.
Nina buys him certain things. His mom buys him certain things. His dad buys him certain things. His grandfather buys him certain things.
There's a couple layers right there all by itself.
That's the layers.
Yeah.
Santa boss.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
But he believes very strongly
in the thought of that dude.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and he also believes strongly in the Elf on the Shelf. His elf is Chippy.
The Christmas spirit. Right? That's what we can call it.
He believes in that. He's serious. Like he's gangster with that. Like, hey,
why didn't the elf move?
My papa touched Chippy the other day. I'm like, He did.
Hey, show
Bro.
us on the dial where Papa touched you.
Listen to me, man. You ever make that mistake? You brush against that thing. They're like, you killed my elf.
Yes.
Because
You were right up.
Yes.
I didn't even want to think about
Both
it.
of them.
Yes, I knew. No, I know what you're talking about.
So
But I've heard my kids freak out that I like brushed into their elf and now their elf lost its Christmas magic
Yes.
because I touched it.
yes,
That's a real thing?
bro.
Whoa,
yes.
that's for
Bro, you
real.
gotta know
They
that-
take
you
that shit
bro, you better,
serious.
I'm gonna send you some videos. You better know the videos.
Oh no, this motherfucker staying in the no, he's staying in the studio. That
Yeah.
thing up top there that you guys see.
I'm buying the
He's
girls.
He ain't saying here. I gotta
I'm
take him
buying-
home. I gotta
listen,
do a week's worth of Elf on the Shelf.
I'm buying each of
Come
the
on.
girls Elf on the Shelves for Christmas. I'm gonna make a point of it. But circling back
To lie to him.
Yeah, you are saying that.
So to
Right.
to circle back to that,
He already
it's
talked
like-
about trying to keep his girls off the pole.
Serious.
You know what I mean? Like,
That was so close.
So to circle back, it's like for me, how I found I don't remember how the hell I found out there was no Santa because I'm a spawn of Brother Black. So
You just blocked it
You're
out.
born a G.
so, bro,
Born a G.
listen, I remember being so
He take you with him
excited.
to get the gifts and shit.
Bro,
Come on, we gonna
I was
try
so
that.
excited. I wanted this
What you
particular
want?
Schwinn bike. This is when Schwinn was that shit. I got it for Christmas. I was so excited. I remember Santa got me this. Santa got. My dad was like, "No, the fuck he didn't. I did. I got that. I bought you that.
That's why I
and I'm
love
like,
Brother
whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, and I don't know if that's the first time that I acknowledged that or whatever.
but
but
you
I do
added it
remember,
up.
like my dad has always been like, "No, I bought you that.
Yeah.
Oh, you want that new Atari?
Santa might be cool,
I bought you
but
that.
I worked hard for this
you
shit.
know,
Right.
So the game and Kanye West has that song together, right? Easy. And when Ye's talking about rich ass kids, this ain't your mama house. Get on your brother's shoulders and get that top ramen out. I feel like that's dad during Christmas time. Like, fuck all that other bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he, you know, Pops has always been super real.
I'm not going to let Santa take credit for the hard
some
work
shit that
I
I
did
did, right,
to get
yeah.
you this swim bike
That's
that you want.
real shit.
Mikey, is
I
that what
love
you're
it.
on?
No,
I do.
100%.
Honestly,
That's what's up. Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
just
weird
know,
thing.
like,
and
is
it's
that
true.
That is
Yeah.
actually
And it's
kind
true.
of
So,
Right.
the thing
Get
where
it more or
you want to
less.
look about
Right.
it when you're
And-
talking
It's
to
true.
kids.
Ain't nobody
Bad,
giving
he
you
was
nothing.
better,
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
But it was also that thing that he also put in, like, to me, like, you deserve this.
Right.
Like, you worked for this. You did the things that I asked you to do. That's why you
Yeah.
got this. Christmas is that time where
You
your
get
work
paid off for being
your
a
work
good
pays
kid.
off, if
Sure.
that makes sense. That's what I always remembered about Christmas. Christmas time is when your work pays off. If he asks you to cut the grass, you cut the grass. If your mom asks you to do this, you do it. And then you'll be rewarded at Christmas time.
Do you know what's interesting?
If that makes sense.
When I
it
said
makes
I said I lost the Christmas spirit when I wasn't a kid in quotes anymore, and I don't think, I mean, like during high school or whatever, it was still cool. It was Christmas, you got off school and shit, but whatever. But when I was like out in the real world, and it's like now everybody seems to like drain their bank account to like make up at the end of the year
I've done it.
to show everybody you love them. It's like
I've done it.
I said it all the time to myself. Even then, I'm like, I show people I love them all year long.
Yes.
Acts of service. I
Yep.
show
That's
you.
the next layer we're about to peel back.
And
But
I can speak on that too.
Do you know
and
what
I
I'm
love
saying?
it. Yes.
And it's like I feel like at the end of the year, it's like why am I gonna drain every dollar I've worked for at the end of the year to like try to give you something to show you I love you when I've been
Yes.
doing it all along? I just want to spend time with friends and family and like drink eggnog and have a have a Christmas party. I
love that. Food and snacks.
Yeah,
Drinks
that big
with the
fo-
family.
yes.
That's it.
That's why that's why it got ruined for me until I had kids to see it through their eyes again, through that excitement. So for me, the thing about Christmas was if it was all about like the real Christmas spirit, I'd have been all about it.
Yeah.
But I saw real quick
Yeah.
that I was like, that's not what this has become.
Yeah.
Black Friday sales and the fights, like, it's
Sure.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't-
that
we
shit.
don't-
And I'm
we-
like,
we've
why?
never-
Hey, I'm like, hey, man.
My mom used to
Those
fuck with
Christmas
that, but-
parties that I remember as a child where it's
talked
like
about it a couple
my parents got the whole church choir over at the house and it's like a potluck in my kitchen and like everybody's over like just having a good time because it's Christmas time. I was like, this is what it's about.
That's-
Like, right?
Can I ask you, Tyner?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay. Mikey, how old are you?
way.
34.
Yeah.
Don't you ask
You're
me how
not
old I am,
44.
bro.
I'm 44.
Rome, I know
Don't
Rome's
you ask
30,
me.
36.
Yeah, that's on camera. What type of shit is that?
No, but
Who is you?
right now?
Don't talk about
I'm
Bruno.
gonna tell you why in a second, because when you said that choir stuff, let me touch on that once he gets done. But yeah,
But yes, the thing like going back to like Christmas and things like that. It's when you get to a certain age, for at least for me and for a lot of people that I fuck with, is Christmas becomes a time of year where if you can do, you do. Right,
Sure,
and you focus on whatever you want to focus on, whether it be your wife, whether it be your kids, whether like I don't have any children at the house, right. So for me, my focus is always my grandkids. So I want to make sure that they're good, they get what they want, whatever. Me and Dana used to go back and forth all the time, my wife, because she would like, what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, nothing. And she's like, no, seriously, I want to get you something. I was like, I literally need and want for nothing, because if I want it in February, I'll go buy it. If I want it in January, I'll go buy it. If I want it in October, I'll go buy it. And the same for her to a degree, but I always feel like my wife is only wrapped up on her stocking. So as long as I stuff that stocking, she could literally give a shit about. Babe, I'm gonna buy you a car. Don't want it. It don't fit in the stocking.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she just wants things to.
Yeah.
But the issue that I have is I feel like I love her that much, so I go and buy. I'm sorry. Let me back up. I used to go out and buy diamonds and shit like that because they're small enough to fit in her stocking, but they're significant. Right. Right. And then I realized she don't give a fuck about none of that.
Chocolates.
She cares more about the what's the damn orange, the chocolate orange that you break.
Right.
She cares more about that. She just
socks and some perfume.
That's it.
Right.
So I realized like, okay.
But you know what though? I'm gonna give you a little insight of how to boost that up. All right.
I'm listening.
This is what I'm doing right now because I have the same problem you have.
Give it to me.
We always do the same. Like it's always a fight between me and Sam. You know what I mean? Because I don't like getting each other gifts for Christmas. I think it's bullshit because it's not about.
I feel like that's money that I didn't spend on my grandchildren
or whatever. It's just that we're grown.
Children.
Yeah. If I need something tomorrow, I go out and get it.
Yeah.
If I say, hey babe, you know what, I need this, and she's like, oh well, I'm out, I'll grab it. Right, whatever. But what I'm saying is like, here's how you kind of fix that. What I found out this year was, oh my gosh, the gift to give to Sam is through the kids. You know what I mean? That's what it's about now. So like, forget what I'm going to give her.
Sure.
Nothing's really going to excite her.
Right.
After you know what I mean? You give her twins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what else can you really do out there?
You are a boss.
Give me superpowers,
y'all.
Better you than me.
But after that, like, what do you can't, right? You can't top a lot of different things that happen in life. You can't top that. You know what I mean? Like being engaged. I actually that's how our engagement was. I actually proposed to her on Christmas Eve, right?
Oh, beautiful.
So like you can't top any of this shit, right? So, but you know what you can't top it with? Through the kids, because my kids are 21 months. They'll be 21 months,
right,
at Christmas. Do you think they can't buy nothing, right? So, but it's from them, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's the most sentimental shit. Yeah, that she's gonna drop a tear. I ain't gonna lie. Let's just keep it. Not to mention,
she knows it's from you.
But let's just keep it a buck. What
unless she believes. I mean, we don't know. We don't know yet. We're not supposed to say this.
Don't say it then.
But I'm gonna say it.
Let the wisdom in the room. Anytime you guys say, maybe I shouldn't say this, don't say it. Give it 24 hours.
Absolutely.
Revisit it.
No, absolutely not.
Sleep on it.
But hold on. Is that if she drops a tear, you know you did good.
You won. You won the game.
You make her drop a tear,
you won the game.
You did great.
Yes, sir.
That's like a goal in April. Is like
that's what
mom's
I'm trying
side
to
of the
say.
family. It's who can make who cry.
Not who cry, because it's not about. I don't want to make everybody cry, but like, your girl, your wife, your fiance,
Dana in the face. No,
that might work.
That don't work.
Right. Just not quite the same way.
See, you see what I'm saying?
You're right, bro. You can't say that.
You see what I'm
You
saying?
can't say that.
Oh man, I don't know. That's where I'm at with it. Is if I can use the kids now to make her day. That's way more special for me giving her.
Once
some
again,
gift.
we get Tyner. Anytime we get Tyner on the show, and he hasn't even said shit, it's always the shit gets deep.
We get deep.
We get deep.
Yeah. I know. I didn't even get
think
into
we was
that
gonna get
Santa
deep.
Claus
Wait a minute.
conspiracy.
Shout out to Beaker and shout out Beaker's mom. It's Beaker's mom's birthday today.
That's right.
Happy birthday, Beaker's mom.
That's right.
Happy birthday, Miss Scott. I'll say Mrs. Science.
There you go.
Happy birthday, Mrs.
Give her a
Science.
flounder.
This is science.
Tyner,
Yes.
can,
She
can,
gets
we get
horns, too.
can we get a Tyner happy birthday?
Yo.
The song. I want the Stevie version. Hit it.
Happy birthday, happy birthday to Beaker's mom.
That was the Irish. If I've ever seen it.
I don't even. Bro, that wasn't Stevie.
Right, he's gonna say,
I
what
was
are
a
you
little
talking
caught
about?
off guard, but I didn't want to sing old straight up happy birthday.
No, I
like
want
the,
you to sing like Stevie Wonder's version.
like the straight up like.
Happy birthday.
Oh,
Actually,
dude, that's
come
the
on,
right
like,
version. Let's all face it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stevie's the only one that actually did it right. It's
Right.
more celebratory
That's his
than
song.
any
That's
version
what I'm
of
saying.
Happy birthday. Come on. Happy birthday to you.
You gotta play it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
There you go.
Happy
That's what I was looking for.
You know, you are correct.
So-
Happy birthday, Science Scott's mom.
That's right.
Yeah.
Shit gets deep.
Otherwise,
podcast.
we would have had my partner here with me to
Yes.
to say
Yes.
to do all this. But yeah,
That is a great excuse for not being able to be here. I will
Cheers.
never hold that against him.
that's
His
right.
mother.
Cannot.
Can't-
So shout out to
can't forget
Beaker's
about
mom. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
That's right.
Well, so I this has been on my mind. This is something I wanted to ask you guys. Best gift ever, whether it be most meaningful or just the most surprised you've been. Best
Ever.
gift ever
Given or gotten?
Given.
that you've
gotta be
received.
given.
That's some sucker shit. Why are they doing all this stuff?
Because
We want to see. We want to see what beat.
We got Mikey Shu in the building.
You know what I
We
mean?
got Mikey Shu in the building.
Are you gonna say like a thing because mine? I mean,
no, you know what?
mine's gonna be my boy. You know that. Like that's
Yeah.
corny, but that's real. Like
No, I mean
there's
Christmas.
no
gift,
material,
though.
materialistic thing.
No, I mean,
Materialistic?
I'm talking about Christmas.
I know exactly which my Christmas gift.
I'm
is.
saying outside of our kids.
I mean, it's hard to judge because you really don't know the
Christmas gift.
impact on the person that you gave it to. Like sometimes
No,
you
he's
might
saying
do
no,
charity.
that
what
you
you got.
that you
Oh,
got.
that you've got.
That you
Yeah,
were
that you've
given.
received.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be hard. Yeah,
I
that'd
know
be
mine right
hard.
off the top of my head.
What is yours?
It was when I got my Sega Genesis.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was a little
Sega
kid
Genesis
thing
is real.
where Santa Claus is still real and you still
Yeah.
getting shit. And when I got that Genesis,
Change your world. Change your life.
changed all of it. Because I was so bummed out that I didn't have
I'm so
Nintendo.
old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got something.
I
Just
never
like
got
Tyner. I'll get
Nintendo.
to
Like
it.
I never got it. All my boys had Nintendo and all that shit, and I was just like, man, I just all I wanted was Super Mario. You know, I played at everybody else's house, but then a couple years later, maybe the next year, I don't even know, I got that Genesis, bro, and that was
boss.
And everybody,
Bro.
yeah, everybody had a
Everybody
Genesis.
came
everybody
Right.
was like,
Yeah.
whoa, Bill Walsh football.
Dudes
bro.
had a Intellivision,
Bill Walsh
ColecoVision
college
back
football
then.
on Sega.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Best
And it
best
taught,
football
yeah.
game of all time.
Yes.
I don't know if
Yes.
I don't know if I'm old
Yes. Yes.
or we were broke.
No, you're old.
Think about it, man. You get that, you start playing Soul Calibur, or not Soul Calibur.
That was Dreamcast.
No. I'm talking. What's the other one?
On the Sega? On the
No,
Genesis?
Sega. It's God, what's the one? Oh, I played it with my kids at the time. They actually ended up loving it. Soul Calibur was Dreamcast. What's the one I'm thinking of? Golden Axe. Golden Axe. You
Golden
remember that?
Axe, yeah.
That's before me.
Warrior
That was Sega-
needs food badly.
Sega Genesis.
Is that what you're talking about?
Golden Axe.
Golden
yeah.
Axe. It was for it was an elf, right?
Yeah, there was
You could have been a sorcerer.
yeah,
You go
okay,
through.
yeah,
There was a.
You was like a barbarian.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, remember Grandpa's back room?
Yeah, and there was those mazes you had to go through.
Yep.
Yep.
You had to go through
Okay.
that.
Remember
Yeah.
in the back room they had
Yeah.
like
Yep.
that.
You turned to an
'cause
old
Grandpa had that
school game.
Atari. He had
That's
the
right.
Nintendo. Like, he had the whole setup.
Yep.
in the back
Golden
room.
Axe
Remember
on
that?
Sega
Chuck,
Genesis.
that was
Yep.
Chuck set up.
Right
Yeah.
past Chuck's room. That back room. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, man.
Go ahead, Ron. What you say?
Well, for that particular question would be hard for me to answer, but just to give you a little bit of background of why I say what I say or feel how I feel. Like I was the only child.
It was a cold night. I had a black sweater on, black turtleneck.
Yo, Chad.
Rottweiler
This time
on
it was a
chain.
pit bull. This time it was a pit bull. It was a pit bull named Killer.
So I was the only child until I was 9. So coming up during the formative years, it was literally like
Me too.
just
so,
me.
Yeah. I get
But
it.
I come from a big family, so I had a lot of cousins who were older than me. Okay, maybe a year or two.
Yeah.
So me, thinking about Santa and all that. Once I get around my cousins, they spoiling all that.
Right.
The older they were. So saying that, yeah, I was kind of naive when I was by myself. But as soon as I go get with my family or my cousins, they would kind of. Like
Bring you
make
up
fun
to
of me,
speed,
obviously.
yeah.
Like, dude, what are you talking about? Yeah, like, what are you,
Yep.
So it kind of made me like grow up a little faster. I kind of kept up.
You
with
don't say.
That's why he had that
Right,
Rottweiler and
there
that
you
fucking.
go. Well, I kept up with the, a little bit older mindset. But like, I can't really say best gift or I don't really. There's nothing I ever really like wanted. You know what I mean? And got or didn't get. I was never really like.
You never need it.
I wouldn't say that. I just never really. There was no one big thing that I just had to have.
Then you was
Yeah,
cool.
I was cool. Exactly.
Mikey, what say you?
And I got so it wasn't a real, but it was real to me. Wrestling belt. And I was like, bro, it was like the heavy one, like the heavy one, not the plastic one. Like it was made out of some
World
kind of metal.
Championship.
Yeah. I wore that bitch to the store that morning to get eggs. I swear to God, dude. I'm not bullshitting you. I wore it to the store.
That's
And
what's
I
up.
threw it on my shoulder.
So I'm going to say Mikey is a wrestling fan.
For sure.
100. He's the one that put me on the Big Con. Who Big Con's coming back?
Big
Big
Con.
Con's coming back
Coming
to
back.
IWR. You
IWR,
put me on the
baby.
Big Con.
Fuck yeah, I'll be
That's
there.
Mikey and
That
Riot's
heavyweight,
favorite
baby.
wrestler, man. Big Con.
Got that
yes.
heavyweight.
And he was so great to
Actually,
Riot,
my
so I
first
loved
time I
him
went to
more.
IWR was with
That
you
was-
two
yes.
gentlemen, with you.
Yes.
That's when you brought Harry, Big Con, off the top ropes.
Off the top
The
ropes.
back, what is it called?
Through the
Suplex?
doors.
Suplex through the door, yeah.
Yeah.
Through the doors
Yes.
and the table.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great night.
Woo!
Yeah, it was a woo
Hit him
moment.
with that Ric Flair.
All right, hold on.
Sorry.
What about you guys? Best presents.
Man.
TJ,
Best
Each
gifts.
other.
you go.
So brothers,
Each other.
We're happy and we're singing and we're colored. Give me a high five.
And they mean that.
He was so mad when I came, Rome.
mean
It
that.
wasn't his best gift at all. He was so mad. He was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Actually, it was
No,
cool
'cause we're like
I used to beat
800 years
Deidre up,
apart.
and then I used to beat your ass, or Deidre used to beat your ass, but I used to help her, so it was cool too. So,
You know what? We ain't kids no more. But let's not do this on this pod, okay?
Not today.
All right.
Not on the
All right,
Christmas special.
we've been
Ain't gonna
drinking
tell
three
us.
Scrooges.
Ain't gonna tell us.
We've been drinking the Griffin Claw, three
Shout-
Scrooges.
shout
Shout out to
out.
Griffin Claw.
The Griffin Claw. What, can I get
Michigan
What was
made.
y'all best gift, bro? Come on.
Go ahead,
Sorry. I
Their
was drinking.
podcast.
Us.
Right.
No, you know what?
We're trying to get sponsorship, bro.
No, I'll tell you. It was kind of like what Tyner said, but I remember this distinctively. Right? We had it was maybe my first Christmas next door to Mikey. Mikey didn't live there yet, right? When Dad moved over to that neighborhood,
Great neighborhood.
right? Because it was the first time, like, because you already had a house on Conant. This was the first time it was like a house,
Right.
And I had a choice. Get the Jordan 11 patent leather boys, okay?
Yeah.
Or
Spoiled ass.
me and Ashley, because me and Ashley are around the same age. Me and Ashley can together get a Sony PlayStation. Sony PlayStation just came out.
Right.
Soul Calibur,
It wasn't.
like I said.
It wasn't a console that stands up. It was the flat
a
boy
tough
where you open it up,
choice.
right? That was the thing. But we had to
do?
split it. Me and Ashley had to have a conference about it.
Mixed privilege.
We had to have a conference about it. Like, hey,
Hold on, can I
we
guess
can
the
get
can I
these
guess the
shoes.
outcome? Can I
Right.
guess the
we can
outcome?
get the Sony.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. We picked the Sony,
Right.
right? And I was kind of
Kangas.
like, right? I'm still going back and forth because I played basketball at the time, so I love Jordan shoes. I never got to get the shoes I wanted because it was always the team shoe that whatever team my dad was coaching at the time, that's the shoe I got. So whatever the team shoe was, that's what I got. I never got to get the Jordans or like the exclusive shit. So the patent leather 11s come out, right?
Concord.
The Concords, the originals. Our brother Kelly came over with his kids. Now Kelly has them. His son Nate has them. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And his daughter has them too, right? And I'm like, ain't this a bitch? But I'm not. I'm young, so I didn't say bitch.
Yeah, you're like,
I said,
everybody
ain't
want to
this
go
a-
play Soul Calibur on my
Ain't
fucking.
this a right? But once I realized is everybody, because the PlayStation was in my bedroom, everybody was like I want to play next. I want to play next. And I had the power to be like, well, this is mine. I'll choose to.
Yes.
You ain't playing next.
And I was like,
The power.
I started thinking, and that's the first time I started thinking, like, there's a difference between just some shoes that'll last a little bit, and you wear them on a cord or whatever, to this PlayStation, I'm finna play this joint every day, every night. We didn't know when
2, 3 in the morning.
This is the biggest thing. We've never seen a disc before. This is the biggest thing we've ever seen.
Yeah, because it was CDs.
Everything was before this.
Yeah.
Everything was the cartridges,
Privileged.
Nintendo, all this
You had
other
to blow
shit.
on it.
Oh yeah, that was the first one that had the
That
disc.
was the first
Yeah.
disc.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I wanted what they wanted so bad. What I didn't realize is they're lined up at my room.
They all want what you
offering
got.
me things to be able to get on my PlayStation, and that was it.
Yeah,
You're like, yo, what
It
about
was
if I
like-
get
I
those
think it was
Concords
great
on
because it was
Tuesdays and
my
Thursdays?
I believe that's my first conscious life lesson.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's why it might not have been my greatest gift, but it was one of the meaningful gifts that I
made an
actually
impact
liked.
on you.
That made an impact on exactly.
Nice.
I like
While
it.
Rome was running around with Rottweilers
Yep.
with little chains.
I'm on some straight
And I was the
materialistic
same age. I was
shit.
around the
Yeah.
same
I
age.
can't
You know,
wait.
10, 11. Like that's
Yeah.
what I
It's-
figured out. Like,
it's-
oh shit, it's different.
I'm on some real materialistic shit. I want it.
Was
Hey,
it that
As
Dookie
far as
rope?
what?
Was it that Dookie rope?
no.
Was it the Yeah Boys album that I
No.
fucked up?
No.
Okay.
Way before that.
Okay.
Ooh, this is early
BB gun,
on.
Way before
The
that.
This
BB
is
gun
early
that you-
on, Big
the
Mike.
BB gun that you shot at Dana and Mom whooped you with a wooden spoon.
Before that. So, my
Was it a time that you? Okay, sorry. I'm just thinking Mom's gonna be listening to this. She's gonna remember all this shit that you
Right.
did to me. But anyway,
me growing up
I was telling.
was really simple. We had one TV in the house. I know a lot of people can't imagine that.
Yeah, nowadays, no.
We had one TV in the house.
Michael's old as shit.
I was probably
Michael was also the remote control.
I'm a yes, facts. I remember when we got HBO and it was click, click, click. That's it. That's what we
Right.
had. So all I wanted was my own TV in my room. And that was like impossible,
Right.
right? Bro, Pops got me, not Santa Claus, Pops.
Of course
Yeah.
he did.
Pops
Of
got
course
me
he did.
a 13-inch black and white TV.
Did it have the
pretty good
antenna
for
on
the
top?
program.
You can
Yes, it
spread
did.
it out.
Hell yeah,
Yes,
it
it
did.
That's really good for prohibition.
Tune that shit in. Make sure you get channel
I
4.
think I had like 13 channels. I was the
Yes.
boss.
Best 13 there
You
was.
watched the Pistons, didn't you?
Bro, I watch news.
Yeah.
You watch what was on.
I could get, like,
Whatever came
news.
on.
Like,
yo,
Right, I hear
Jeopardy.
I hear the peanut gallery over there.
Jeopardy came in.
The other people in the studio right now.
Watch the new, watch something. Oh, hell yeah, I'm learning about the stock market and weather today.
Well, it's like that's how I feel at work in the morning.
Listen, I go all the way back to
Lloyd's
when.
over here with his bump song talking about I remember the days. Yeah, I see you.
But this is the thing. This was the killer. When my cousins and my friends would come over, all they wanted to do was come to my room and
watch TV.
Watch that
black and
TV.
white
because
TV.
we could watch whatever we wanted to watch.
See, look how far apart you guys had the same experience.
That's why.
You guys just
Yeah.
have power.
But you ain't that old. Black and white TV.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, my guy.
but
Willie's got a
Black
good
and white
point.
TV.
Yes.
Bro, I think I was
we
literally
did.
like
yeah, we did
maybe
because they
8.
thought they
Right.
were bougie and we're not. No, let's address what Willie just said over
What'd he
there,
say
man.
now?
Willie said you guys just like the power over your friends.
Yeah.
It wasn't the actual gifts. It
The
was
gifts
the
was the
power
power.
that invigorated you with.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. Why the fuck do you think we started a podcast? Because we can say who the fuck is, like that's why your ass is
Ding,
sitting
ding,
over
ding, ding,
there.
ding.
Yeah. Because we didn't want you to continue. Well, we set your ass on the couch.
Well, hold on. I beg to differ. I will say the reason why he's sitting on the couch right now is
said
because
so
he's
many
right
nice
next to the
things
cooler.
about
He's right next to the cooler with the Miller Lights, and that's where he wanted to be the rest of the party.
Facts.
But
Facts.
But you know what? To go off what he said, I will say this. I think that all of us sitting here, and this I'm about to get very serious for a second.
Let's
I
go.
think that all of us sitting here, and it's a good point that Willie brought up, but all of us sitting here has used our power somewhat, somehow for good, and we're doing things.
Facts.
Yeah.
And that's why we're so happy about Christmas. We all have the spirit back somewhat, is because we know what it means.
Yeah.
And what.
In Rome,
Do you guys get what I'm
I
saying
agree.
with it?
Yeah.
Like,
Because
there's
I
been a
think-
lot of cool events.
Like
that's
I
happened.
said, when I got to be an adult and I realized what that true meaning of Christmas really was, Didn't have to do with the gifts. It didn't have to do with that shit. I remember that when I was a little kid, what I enjoyed the most was when everybody would come over for the Christmas party. You know what I mean? That feeling of togetherness where everybody would go and they'd sing the Christmas carols and shit and all that.
And that's what I'm saying. That's part of the power. We are all of us sitting here are men in our family who actually have and I don't want to call it power. We won't call it power. We'll get away from the word power.
Ability.
But I'm saying the ability, exactly. The ability to facilitate a really good time and family getting together. Just like all of us in this room right now having a Christmas party and be able to do our thing up here on this podcast.
Amen.
I think that let's bring it all back around. And I really believe that's, he had actually a good point. No, you're right. And I think that is the best gift because we actually can make people feel better around this time of year, better than they might have felt before.
Yeah, and having that intention to do so, that's what means it. You know what I mean? Because when it comes out of your heart, you have the right intention. You actually
it comes out of your heart, not for the attention.
That's for the attention.
That's the thing.
Because you're really
that's
looking
you see around this time.
That's really what, if you think about like Santa when you're a little kid and what you thought of him as, that really is kind of what Christmas really is all about. Is this dude who is selflessly giving, and it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to be toys and gifts and stuff. No. It could just be you're giving of yourself. You know what I mean? You're trying to make the people's lives around you better.
Yes.
Regardless of if it's through material things or through your service. You're trying to, the Christmas spirit is, hey, there's some people with need right now. Let's use this time to gather our efforts and get some stuff for people who feel in need. I'm not doing that to make myself feel better. I want them to feel better because this is that time of year. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, it's that time where it's kind of like what we always talk about, that famous meme about, I'm going to clap for my homies until it's my turn, right?
There you go.
And I believe that's kind of Christmas, what we do kind of all year round, but I think that the Christmas, what we believe Christmas to be is due for until it's your turn.
That's right.
And at this point of time, we want, if we're going to have a good time during the holidays, we want everybody to be able to have a good time for the holidays.
Not to mention, I don't even care if my turn never shows up.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
That's why you're such a great person.
Hey. I feel like the rest of you guys think that way too, though.
Yeah. We do.
We do.
But
that ain't just me.
But you always say it in such an elegant and formal and great way to say it, man.
And I'll just say, fuck you, Tyner. I want my turn to come. Let's
Cheers.
Go. 2023 is my time. Let's go. I've been saying that since
8 Mile of Eggnog. With that being said, I got to tell you guys something. I'm going to take off the shades for this, but I got to tell you guys something. Seriously, thank you guys so much for this is the end of our second version of the our to be continued of the Beyond the Tracks podcast Christmas special, and I want to thank all you guys for being here, and the from part 1, part 2, everybody in the studio hanging out. Like this really, and you guys know this because we talk about it all the time. This is something I want to do annually. This is definitely something I look forward to every year. And it really means a lot to me to have everybody just come in and kick it, man. Just have that vibe. You know what I mean? It's almost like how people do Friendsgiving. This is like Friends Christmas right here. Where we just nobody brought gifts. We just enjoy it. Well, except 8 Mile brought us gifts.
Right.
But what I'm saying is it's about getting people together and us having a good time. You know what I mean? That's the gift.
That's right.
You know what I mean? That really is the gift. So let's end it on a lighter note real quick, man. I want you, Tyner, to give some shout outs to what Shit Gets Deep's got going on in the future and what you got going on.
Well, Shit Gets Deep is, if you've been paying attention, if you've been following along, we've taken a little hiatus, but we do have some big things coming along in a couple different ways. We'll definitely get back to actually putting out content and putting out shows and that stuff. But we actually have been concentrating our efforts on actually kind of starting a little side project that we had going on that has nothing to do with podcasting, but also fits right into it in another certain way. So as soon as we get all of our ducks in a row with what we got going on the side, we will get back to it. We were joking the other day with you and me. I think one of the last times that we actually sat down and recorded was probably with you guys, either here or when you came down to our place. And it's been a minute, which is why when you asked me to be on, I was so excited to come on and sit down because I haven't been behind a mic for so long to kind of get my therapy. But we do have like a big side project that's kind of taking us away from recording and getting weekly content out.
You make
but
sure you release that.
it
on
is
Beyond the Tracks?
yes, we absolutely have.
All right.
But
See how I did that.
that's right. But yeah, we will definitely be coming back, stronger than ever when we do, and we're just looking forward to next year and getting done what we got to get done.
Nice.
Shout out again to Beaker, Science Scott, and
That's
Science
right.
Scott's mom. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
And Merry
Cheers.
Christmas.
I wish Beaker
to
could
the
have been here
whole-
too.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to the whole Chick Is Deep crew. Also, your sister, big shout out to Sarah.
That's right.
Can you say her last name? Because I'd call her Sarah. I call her Sarah Tyner G because I don't know how to say the last
Just leave
name.
it with a G. That's the that's the Griswinski girl right there.
Griswinski.
Because she does so much for our city around this time. Her and everybody at Allen Chevrolet. Thank
That's
you so
right.
much.
Yeah.
And that is Tyner's sister, man.
Sis
She
is in
down,
on
man.
it. Yep, she's
dope.
I
she's
learned
got a
that
lot of stuff
recently.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you really?
A lot of
Yeah.
people just
I
don't
love
know.
it
I know
when-
your brother pretty well.
Hey, this my favorite thing is like people finding out that she's like yeah, no, that's my brother. And they're like, what? What are you like?
Yeah, I was
Because
shocked too.
when you don't have the same last name anymore, but when they all of a sudden, us being from Monroe, we kind of everybody knows everybody. When they finally make that connection, they're like, oh, that just makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Kind of does.
Because I met Sarah actually, man, probably a couple years
All right,
before
yep.
I met you.
Yes.
So yeah, it all made sense. Once it
Yeah.
kinda
Yeah.
came
We
together.
might be
Yeah.
cut from the same cloth, maybe.
So
So yeah, shout out to sis.
Definitely shout out to Sarah. Mikey, what you got going on coming up, man?
Man, working.
I know you guys are restocking. I talked about it last podcast. You guys are restocking.
By the time
The
this
8 Mile.
drops, yeah, it'll be restocked
It'll be
back
restocked,
in
which is a good
the
thing.
warehouse. Yeah, we've been out, about a month, but
But
it's
a
good.
thing.
Good problem to
People are
have.
buying it.
I mean, yeah,
People are going. Like
still a
it's going
problem,
hard.
but it's a good problem, I guess.
Good problem to have.
Absolutely.
Born Detroit. Pre-rolls. I shot them out. Are they still at Glass Jar?
They are at Jars.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Jars.
Jars in
I
Monroe.
fucked that up.
Yep.
Maybe I
No,
had
it's
that
all good.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're
Jars.
good.
Yes. Right down the road. Yep.
Then we got some other stuff coming out early next year.
You're definitely going to be back on to announce
Yeah,
that. I'm very
we'll,
excited
we'll make
about
that
that. And we
announcement.
can't spill it, but man, I want to spill it so bad.
yeah.
I can't wait.
But yeah, well, thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you, Rome. Thank you, Mike, for another Christmas special. Man, this has been great. This has been something that I know we all look forward to. We also have a New Year's Eve special we're going to do.
I said
following this up.
we'll announce our stuff.
On the New Year's Eve, we're going to announce some really cool, some different things happening with Beyond the Tracks Productions, which is the
Sounds
the,
interesting.
the top of the umbrella. So it is.
I can't wait.
Well, with that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning in. This has been the Beyond the Tracks Christmas special.
Yes.
We will catch y'all on the New Year's Eve special. Until then,
Happy
we out.
holidays.
Happy
Merry
holidays.
Christmas.
Cheers.
Merry
Peace.
Christmas.
Peace.
Peace and love.
Merry Christmas.
Talk.